Hey, welcome to UX Insight with AI. This content is actually based on a real deep dive conversation I had with ChatGPT, where we explored Apple's new UI and what it means from a UX perspective. Let's break it down together.
Today, we're diving into something a little controversial. Apple recently released its Vision series and updated its design language across platforms, but not everyone is happy about it.
Some say it looks futuristic, others say it looks exclusive. So we're asking, is Apple still designing for everyone, or is it slowly leaving some people behind?
We'll break this down in three parts. First, the question of inclusion. Second, whether Apple's brand is shielding it from criticism. And third, how design needs to adapt in the XR era.
Today, we're diving into a question that's been on our minds. Is Apple really designing for everyone anymore?
Right? I mean, with the latest Apple Vision and their overall design direction, I can't help but wonder, are they actually making devices for all ages and types of users, or are they subtly excluding people?
That's the thing. Apple has always been known for its user-friendly design, but lately the visual design feels a bit too sleek, almost like it's made for a niche group, young, tech-savvy, maybe even fashion-conscious users.
Exactly. When we talk about inclusive design, we're not just talking about accessibility in terms of disability, but about age, tech literacy, even visual clarity. And honestly, I think some of Apple's latest visuals just aren't readable or friendly enough for, say, a kid or someone over 70.
Totally agree. And I think there's this unspoken assumption that looking futuristic is automatically better. But what if that sleek look actually alienates people who just want to see things clearly?
It makes you think, is this intentional? Are they purposefully crafting a design language that filters out certain groups so they can strengthen their image as a young, premium brand?
That's a bold thought, but not unrealistic. And if that's the case, it goes against the very heart of what good design should be: universal, intuitive, and human centered.
Right. As designers ourselves, we know that the responsibility isn't just about making things look cool. It's about making them usable for everyone, not just the cool kids.
And with mobile devices being so central to our daily lives, the stakes are higher. If the design makes it harder for some people to interact, that's not just bad design, it's exclusion.
Exactly, and maybe it's time we ask, is Apple designing for people or for an image?
So clearly, there's a tension between sleek modern design and actual usability for all. But here's another angle. Would we be okay with this if it wasn't Apple?
Exactly. Let's talk about how Apple's image plays a role in how we accept their choices, even when those choices might go against inclusive design.
Let's imagine another company, say a smaller tech brand, rolled out the same design. No home button, almost invisible UI elements, glass on glass minimalism. Would people call it bold? Or would they call it bad UX?
Probably the latter. But when Apple does it, people are like, oh, it's the future, it's innovative. They get away with things because they're Apple.
And that's the power of branding. But isn't it ironic? Apple used to be known for its obsessive focus on usability. Their early philosophy was all about it just works.
Right. But now, even if the internal logic of the UI is optimized, if the visuals themselves create friction, that's a barrier. Design isn't just logic, it's perception. If it feels inaccessible, it is inaccessible.
And it goes beyond Apple. It reflects this larger trend in tech and design where aesthetic minimalism sometimes overrides actual usability or inclusivity.
It's like we're entering an age where if it looks cool, it's good. End of story. That's a dangerous mindset for designers, especially when devices are used by millions of diverse users.
And speaking of millions of users, what happens when those users are no longer just holding smartphones?
Exactly. We're stepping into the age of XR, smart glasses, spatial computing, mixed reality. So let's talk about what design looks like in this new era.
Here's the thing. Apple says it's creating one consistent design system across all devices: iPhone, iPad, Vision Pro, whatever comes next.
But should a smart glass UI really look and behave the same as a smartphone UI? The interaction models are completely different.
Exactly. Spatial devices use gestures, depth, peripheral vision. Phones are flat, touch based, and context heavy. So, copying and pasting the same design system might be convenient, but not optimal.
That's the core dilemma. Do we prioritize familiarity or functionality? Users might find comfort in consistency, but if that comes at the cost of usability, is it worth it?
And look, brand coherence doesn't have to mean identical UIs. You can express the same brand values through motion, tone, layout rhythms without forcing the same visual scheme on every device.
Totally. Especially in the XR world where interface and space are blending, designers need to rethink how users feel in an environment, not just what they see.
So, is Apple's new design language visionary or exclusionary?
And can one interface style really serve all devices and all people?
Of course, there's no single answer. What we shared today isn't the truth, it's one perspective. We tried to look at Apple's design shift a bit more critically.
Exactly. Maybe it's time we all ask the just a few more questions, even when the design comes from the biggest names in the industry.
We'd love to know what you think. Do you find Apple's new design elegant, or does it feel like it's leaving some users behind?
Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're genuinely curious to hear different perspectives.
And if you want to hear more deep dives like this on UX, design philosophy, and future tech,
Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
in our next episode, we'll be talking about the direction of UX in the age of AI, where it's going, and what it means for designers and users alike. If that sounds interesting, don't miss it.
Catch you next time on UX Insight with AI.